Hello everybody. I'm Jason Wise from SOM TV, and I am with Claire Coppi, our head of strategic drinking. Today, yes indeed, here we are. Today we are going to talk about, there's just enough time to really think about sparkling wine for the holidays. A little bit of time left, and if you're catching this late, the holidays keep coming, if you're lucky enough to relive them again. We want to go through 4 sets of bubbles for this. We've decided we each picked a wine, and here are the categories. Number 1, we're going to pick a wine that's under $20. A sparkling wine that you can get for under $20 that will blow your mind. Number 2, Claire, what is our choice there?
These are going to be bottles that surprised us. Still pretty cost effective, but something a little unexpected that we quite enjoyed.
Yes, agreed. And then number 3, we're going to pick something that is sort of our quote-unquote celebration pick. You know, this could range in the realm of like 40 to 75 somewhere dollars in there. So it's not a small decision to buy a bottle like this, but at the same time, it should be worth more than the value you paid. And then what's the last category, our 4th?
We have to have our fantasy pick, you know, the bottle that is just stupid, and you know, if somebody else opened it and offered us a glass, we'd of course take it, but are probably not going to be spending what they cost.
You know, for this conversation, which will be mostly value driven, we wanted to have one on there that's sort of your little bit of your FU bottle.
You gotta have
right?
dreams. You gotta have dreams.
A girl's got a dream, Claire.
Girl's got a dream.
All right, so why don't we just kick this right off? So your wine under $20. Why don't we start with you, Claire? What wine under $20 would you recommend people jump for for the holidays?
I was introduced to this bottle through Beautiful Sparklers show, and it is Faire Lafette's, just their straight brut. This is coming from a region called Limoux in the south of France, for anybody who hasn't watched Sparklers yet, but they should. So yeah, it's coming from a region in the south of France that actually invented the traditional method of sparkling wine. It wasn't champagne. Champagne actually, not ripped off, but they were like, that's a great idea. Famous monk named Dom Perignon actually took the traditional method back to Champagne from the Abbey Saint Hilaire in Limoux, where they were already doing it, and then, you know, Champagne started doing great things with it. But this is the region where that method's born, and it's really nice. It's under $20. It's really fresh and crisp and lean. People who like dry sparkling wine, you're gonna love this. It's very zesty, very bright. It's gonna pair with everything. This is a great bottle, under 20 bucks to bring, that's gonna make everybody happy. You know?
Yeah, I think this is one of the great discoveries of sparklers, which of course you can watch on SOM TV. And if you're looking for a last minute gift, SOMTV.com is the way to go. If you're watching this on SOM TV, you should gift it for somebody else. All right, so my number 1, this is a wine that so far exceeds this $20 price tag that I can only assume it's not going to be in this category very long. It may sound a little foreign, but it's a wine from Armenia. It's called Kush sparkling wine. It comes from 150-year-old grapevines on the border of a war zone of all things. This is totally me to pick this wine. It's a big part of a film we have coming up, but throw all that stuff out. If you listen to a recent podcast that Claire and I did, I talked about this wine a little bit. It is a tremendously, incredibly complex wine that has a hell of a journey to get to the United States, and you can get it for $20. It's made from a grape called Arni and occasionally a grape called Vosgehat. Don't let that scare you. It's made in a traditional method. It's very champagne-like. This is one of the world's great wines from one of the birthplaces of wine, and up and coming, tremendous region.
That's so cool. Can we try it together? I haven't tried it.
Yes, we can try it. I have drank several times my weight in it, and I can tell you it's only gotten better as I continue to drink it. So, Claire, what is your number 2, which would be, this would be your kind of surprising, but with a budget standpoint in mind. Wine. Yeah.
It's upping the budget a little bit by like 10, 15 bucks. But this is actually also another bottle from Sparklers. This is, I know, it was a great time.
It was.
This is Caldabasco's Franciacorta. It's, again, their straightforward Cuvée Prestige Brut. Mostly Chardonnay with a little Pinot Bianco and then a little Pinot Nero or Pinot Noir in there as well. So Franciacorta stands on its own reputation, but to make comparisons, not that we should, but this is, you know, the champagne of Italy. This is where the premium sparkling wine comes from in Italy, right? And they have some higher end cuvées that we show on Sparklers as well that are lovely, but this is $35 and it'll really surprise people. People will probably think that that's a true champagne, but you're not going to get that quality in champagne for $35. I don't think.
This is another one that blew me away. I mean, Franciacorta is speaking in terms of European wine, it's a relatively new region, but this wine does not drink like that. Everything we've picked so far is traditional method. Everything has been,
that's true.
It's secondary fermentation in the bottle. I love Codelbosco. Aside from the fact, good people in the wines are fantastic. We've lots of stuff on Som TV to watch about them. Man, we have a fun job. My number 2 surprising wine that's also a bargain is a Cremanta Alsace from Domaine Pfister. So this is a really, 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 it's a Pinot Noir based wine. And it is a kind of a very dry but fruit-forward type of a wine that's excellent with food. I love this wine. I love Alsace as a whole. It's a beautiful region.
It's the best.
It's a top destination for food, top destination for wine, and a smashing of cultures together, and all of those things are represented in this bottle. You can find this bottle in our Closer Look at Alsace on Som TV, but it's probably, you can get it as low as about $27, $25, and might come close to $30. Yeah, it's a stupendous bottle of wine. Yeah,
I love those little regions that are kind of like sleeper regions. Like, yes, there are some very expensive bottles that come out of Alsace, but for the most part, just great value for that quality. And great story, great history, beautiful people, beautiful area. I just love Alsace. Yeah,
I'm absolutely with you. All right, so our number 3 bottle, I'm calling Celebration, not to demean the rest of the wines we've picked already. They fit in this category very well. This is just notching it up a little bit if you're willing to spend a little more. My criteria for this, and I'm not holding you to this, Claire, is it should drink for twice what it cost. So even if you spent a little bit on it, it should still drink for more. What is your number 3 value-driven, but celebration? We're getting into some serious wine here.
Yeah. This is a wine that we're both familiar with. I just had the pleasure of opening it up for a segment for Pinot Meunier Day. And that is La Herte Frere's Rosé de Meunier. They're extra brut. It's 100% Pinot Meunier, so it's a really cool, unexpected grape for champagne to be 100% Pinot Meunier. Usually that's just part of the blend and nobody really talks about it. So it's a cool way to honor this special grape. And it's freaking beautiful. I forgot how beautiful it was until I tasted it again the other day, and I was just like, damn, this is so good. Like, shit. Like, really, really good. It's about $55, but honestly, you could easily spend that on one of those big champagne houses for, like, one of their entry-level, bottlings. This is better. This is 100% better. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
We've talked a little bit about Pinot Meunier. There's a lot of stuff, obviously, on the platform, but I think this is a grape that is so underutilized, underappreciated, which is just really to our advantage for people who do know it's great. La Herte, we have filmed there, and it is still a family-owned, really small, but yet make enough that you can get this wine. The color on this wine is the thing that's mind-boggling.
Stunning.
It just looks like, it almost like glows from the glass. It's not like a regular rosé, and there's something about the skin contact with Pinot Meunier. I love this wine. I love the acid. I think that it's a very surprising champagne because it doesn't fit into the, it doesn't fit into the narrow categories that champagne can often do. And I really adore it. This is a great pick. Thanks. My number 4, I don't know if it's surprising or not. It is from Sparklers as well. Sparklers opened me up to a lot of wines that were unexpected. They weren't in my lexicon of drinking. And one of these regions for sparkling wine that I was not used to was Oregon. And we based that shoot around a place. Oh yeah, I picked Lytle Barnett. So Lytle Barnett is tremendous. They make a sparkling wine that I am dying to do a blind tasting, like a Judgment of Paris type idea with sparkling. And I think that I truly believe that the Rosé and the Brut from Lytle Barnett can hold up to the great sparkling wines of the world. I think you can get this bottle. It might cost somewhere in the realm of about $70. But let me say something about this wine. It is very small production. The people who make it, Andy Lytle and his team, their heart goes into this. It is wine that is made with a precision that is really hard to find in a really new family winery, and by new I mean a decade, 2 decades, but in the terms of winemaking stuff where you have tradition with sparkling wine, this is a baby. Those go back hundreds of years in a lot of cases. I think that this wine's what they've accomplished in the 20 years they've been around,
it's insane.
It's amazing.
It's insane.
So,
that the Lytle Barnett, we guzzled that down on set.
Yeah, we did. Lytle Barnett's a really, really, really special wine, and so that's my pick for this value-driven category where you also need a celebration wine, and this drink's like twice its price. So, Lytle Barnett Brut. All right, on to our FU wine. So this is our look. I'm not buying this wine. I'm not paying for this wine. Claire's dad's in town. He's buying wine.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yay, Dad! Aren't you happy?
I don't know what kind of tax bracket your dad's in, but maybe you can give me a new sweater. All right, what's your number 4? What's your number 4?
My
FU wine. Any sparkling, bubbling champagne, you're not paying. What are you drinking?
This is a bottle that I haven't had. I mean, look, like I could easily be like, I want vintage Ceylon and, Solos, which I do. But this is a bottle I haven't had yet, and I'm really jealous that y'all got to try it, because you filmed with Rodolphe Peters from Pierre Peters, which is one of my favorite champagne producers, and you got to try their heritage bottling, Heritage. And that it's a blend that's like it goes back to 1921. So it's this bottle is just the family, and this tradition and this legacy all in this one bottle. It's really expensive. It's like $1,400. So like, I'm not buying that. But if there's someone kind enough to have bought it near me that would like to offer me a sip or a glass, I would absolutely be thrilled to taste this wine. I'm so jealous that you got to try it.
One of the real things when champagne is all about blending. In a lot of cases, there are a lot of single vintage stuff, but the real magic comes when you're blending different vintages and trying to get it right. This takes that to a Mount Everest steroid level when you're blending. What is it? How many? It's 100 years or?
Basically, 100 years of,
It's got a very, very different situation with this wine where it doesn't, it's very hard to pin down because it has acid from younger vintages, and you only put the best vintages in. So you have this wine that is stellar, washes across your mouth, and doesn't leave in a way that other wines do. It sort of takes you through, and it's got the yeasty quality. It's got oxidation, but that's washed clean by acid from a fresh vintage, and it tastes like of a time and a place, and yet of none of those and all of those at the same time. I thought it was fantastic, and Rodolphe is one of the sweetest, most tremendously lovely, warm humans in the wine business. His wife, his family, so nice. They are great. You can watch the Verticals episode on Som TV with those guys. And speaking of Som TV, this is for you last-minute gift givers. SomTV.com is for the story and wine and food lover in your life. This is the best gift. We throw our hearts and souls at this streaming service, and we really, really appreciate you subscribers.
What is your FU bottle, though?
This is a real safe choice, but in safe, I mean it's a $1,500 bottle of wine up to $2,500. So there's Krug is a time-tested situation where the wines are great. They make good wine, and anybody who's like, oh, that's, blah, 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 they just haven't had Krug recently. The Krug Clos de Menil, which comes from a very small Clos means a walled vineyard. Menil is a place in Champagne that all of the grapes come from this little walled vineyard, and they make only a very small amount. It is a wine that unfortunately has fallen into the only collectors and investors area. Yeah. I have been fortunate enough to have this wine on many different occasions, and I can tell you, it is tremendous. It is a wine I would like to, going through this profession, we often drink wines where we think, I'm never going to have this again. Clos de Menil I need to have again. I don't want that to be something that I only have. It's stupendous. And the way the yeasty flavors play with their little bit of oak usage and the acid and they release at the right time. And it's really one of the world's truly incredible pieces of art that you can drink. And so I'm gonna take Krug Clos de Menil. I'm not buying. What the hell? It's your dad's money.
Poor Mr. Coppi.
Yeah.
He never knew what hit him.
He
He'd
never
drink
knew
it
what
with you,
hit him.
though. You know what? Get
That's
my
good.
dad drunk on really good champagne. He won't complain about it.
That's
He
good.
will
I
not.
can. It's like looking into the future of my daughter saying the same thing to somebody about me.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. I want to just say one more time, everybody go to somtv.com, subscribe, and know that we have tons of stuff. We have an entire collection for the holidays, what to drink for Hanukkah, what to drink for New Year's, and a brand new episode coming with Shakira Jones covering Fête de Champagne, and Claire will make a cameo
and
in
it's 25% off through the holidays. So not only is it a great last minute gift, we're giving you a gift. We want to give you 25% off new subscriptions for a whole year.
Love it. So if you are a subscriber, this is a great gift, and if you're not a subscriber, you should be. All right, Claire, cheers to the holidays. Please, everybody, be safe and
Happy holidays.
try to have patience with your relatives. They really mean well. I promise.
Mm.
I'm one of them to some people, and I mean well. All right. Bye, all.
Cheers.
Cheers.